They don't like me. Oh, by the way, we're live.
Oh, wait a minute. Everybody, all right. Act normal.
Awesome. Yeah, right. Hey, welcome everybody. Man, we have got a fun show today. So first off, you notice we got Brian on with us from Carson Adventures. So good to have him on as a guest host here today.
Because he won't do our stream anymore. So.
Just hop on Jeremy's.
That's right.
What was that show called we did together?
I don't know.
What was that called?
Yeah.
Jeremy's way better at producing than I am. Like, keep it on.
He's not producing. I am.
Well, I almost was.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up late tonight, Chris. We appreciate you, buddy. At least you showed up.
Maybe you and I should not do a stream anymore.
Why do you hate?
Well, yeah. I'm hating. Okay.
Why do you gotta hurt?
Too funny. Well,
what a start.
Either way, it's good to have you. So we've actually got a couple of really cool guests. We've got a gentleman by the name of Eric and a gentleman by the name of John. And John, I know you've seen in a previous video, he has a beautiful red Bronco where we did LBL, and I think pretty much he kind of guided us through, I think, what was it, Pumpkin Hollow and Sposs Creek.
You said LBL, you mean Daniel?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Threw me for a loop there.
Sorry about that. But then we got Eric Taylor with us from Trail Hunter USA, who's another Bronco owner. These guys are just not only fantastic guys and have really, really cool rigs, and Eric's got some really cool content, but they also know quite a bit about Kentucky off-roading. So we decided to bring them on, kind of pick their brain, and we'll probably actually get to hang out with one of them on a trip here pretty soon, which would be exciting. So with no further ado, could you please bring on Trail Hunter USA, Mr. Eric Taylor and John Carson?
Boom.
Hey guys.
Hello. What's up, guys?
Hey, welcome. It's good to see you
guys. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's always good to have fellow Bronco owners on a channel, especially when I'm usually surrounded by Toyotas. So I kind of feel outnumbered tonight. It's actually kind of
but before we go any further with that, Jeremy brings up a little something. I was just looking for a spot to slide this in. So if most of you have seen before, Jeremy, since day one on his live stream, has always hidden my truck somewhere in his thumbnail. Somewhere you can find a picture of my truck. He's always done that. It's awesome you do that. I'm just like, are you hating on Toyotas this week? Because I noticed my Toyota was right underneath a Broncos front wheel. Like it's just ready to crush it. I mean, I love the Broncos. I have no hate for the Broncos. They're incredible vehicles, but why you got to crush my truck?
Well, you know what? I've had to remind him a couple of times. Him. He's almost left them out. I've kept that going, buddy.
Man. Well, I appreciate it, but
he has.
I understand I'm outnumbered with the Broncos tonight, but why you got to hate?
Well, keep in mind, I think it's Mr. Eric Taylor that's about crushing your Bronco. I think it's underneath his tire. So.
You did that. He didn't know it. He wouldn't have done that to me. He doesn't even know me yet. Yeah. He will want to crush me after he spends a weekend with me. But
oh gosh,
too funny.
Anyways,
well, guys. Yeah, no worries. Well, guys, it's good having you on. So a lot of times when you start talking about off-roading, I mean, like for Indiana, we don't have a lot of options. I mean, we got a couple of, parks like Redbird and Badlands and things like that. But to me, you guys have some of the premier off-roading down in Kentucky. Now, I got to ask you, were you guys doing a lot of off-roading trips or anything like that before the Broncos, or did that kind of come on board when the Broncos were released? So, John, do you want to go first?
Yeah, that's fine. I'd gotten out of the four-wheeling a long time ago. Had a 77 Bronco. That's where I started all this, and then had a couple of pickups. And I didn't go as hard as I'm doing now and going and riding all these different trails. So I've kind of, I guess, pretty much started back going again once I got the Bronco.
Now, were you mainly when you did it? Were you mainly in the Red River Gorge area, or was it pretty much all over Kentucky? Or
no, I was actually in South Carolina. I was in the military back then, so I started wheeling down in South Carolina, down around Beaufort, a bunch of mud trails, sand trails out in the woods, and everything. So I'm familiar with all that. So,
Nice.
little 77 Bronco sitting on what I thought was big tires was a set of 35 groundhogs, and here we are.
What motor was in it?
302 with warmed up just a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How about you, Eric?
Yeah, I really didn't hit it hard until I got the Bronco. I light off-roading and stuff. I would buy before I had the Bronco, I had a Toyota TRD Tacoma, and I just did light off-roading with it. I buy them all new. A situation with my work where I have to have a newer vehicle, and they help me pay for it. So I buy a new vehicle, and I would always say, as soon as I get this paid off, I'm going to hit it hard with the. And before the Tacoma, I had a Jeep Rubicon. So, and I never would hit it hard, and I would just light off-roading and stuff. But when I got the Bronco, I said, I'm going to do it this time. As soon as I get it, I'm taking it out. And I'd already picked out all the parts and bumpers and everything I was going to get before I even purchased it. And back when I got mine, there wasn't a whole lot of choices. There wasn't any third-party stuff, and it was like 4WP had some stuff, and luckily they had some good bumpers and the tires, and then so I got into it hard then, and that's how I met John, was through off-roading and the Bronco groups and stuff. So we've had a good time with it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. So John is part or the manager, I guess, or president. I don't know what your official title would be, but you're basically running the Central Kentucky Bronco Club. How many members are in that, John?
We've got, at last check, I was 557. Let me give you an official count. It changes daily almost. So, but I took that over. I had a guy here in town. He had started it, and he sold his Bronco. He just did a couple of hundred, I think, was in there at the time when he went back to the dark side.
Back to the dark side.
And he had a Jeep.
Yes, you got it. So, and he asked me, would I be interested in taking it over? And it's like, sure. At the time, I just said, nah, it's just a Facebook group. I won't have to worry about it. Well, this thing is pretty much took a life of its own, and I've met some good people. I met you guys. I met Eric.
Yeah.
We'll quite regular together.
I thought you said good people.
Eric.
Well, he's talking about Eric.
Instead of good people.
Yeah. Right now, I've got 556.
Sweet.
Nice. Well,
So,
and that's kind of one of those things too. That's only going to grow as more and more Broncos get out there. I mean, they're kind of just really on the tip of the iceberg for this thing. And that's the funny thing is people don't really realize how capable these machines are. I know they're IFS, but you take care of it, it's going to pretty much do what you need it to do. So I'd actually like to bring up a couple of clips. And we can do the very first couple here. There's Eric on Fincastle and John on Fincastle, and you guys may have seen me do Fincastle if you've watched any of my videos. I've either gotten stuck, or the last time I ended up leaving a little bit of carbonized gray on a rock the last time I was on there. But a couple of these rigs that you see, you guys have really put some effort into thought process into building out your rigs as well too. And I definitely want to touch on that as well. But while Chris is bringing it up, when did you guys first get your Broncos?
I got mine January of 2022. And
I got mine in May of 2022.
Okay, so both of yours are 22s, or are they 21s and they were later?
22.
Mine's 22.
I was supposed to get a 21, and I got pushed back.
Yeah, look at that. And that's on 37s. Is that right, Eric?
Yes.
Yeah, can you? I say, while Chris plays that, can you kind of talk a little bit about what you done to get it up on 37s?
Well, I tried several different things. I was told that a 2-inch puck lift would do it, but it did. It did work, but I found out when I went out to Maris Adventure Park that coming off those hills, and it just tore the inside of my fender liner out. So John one-upped me on his rig, and I decided I would go ahead and get the 3.5-inch. Well, my mind just went blank. What is it, John?
Zone off-road.
Yeah, the zone off-road lift.
Zone off-road.
Yeah. And then I put I had the 37s on there, so that little extra lift helped keep my wheels, tires from getting into the fender well. Basically, when I would come off a hill or something and turn, it would just grind that inside of that fender well out with those 2-inch pucks. So I mean, they're good if you're going to mile crawl with them with 37s. You may do light off-roading with it, but if you're going to get serious, you'll need to get a little bit higher lift.
That makes sense. Of course, we got John's here, and yeah, no, that is definitely accurate on that. We got John's here. I remember first seeing this when we were hanging out with him on the Daniel Boone Byway. Those KC lights absolutely pop with that rig.
Yeah.
So, I remember talking to you a little bit about it, John, and you really put a lot of thought into this, like from the start. So, can you kind of walk us through while Chris kind of runs through that video there?
Yeah, like I said, I'm old school, so those Pro 6s there that KC had with the light bar. I'm trying to look and see if that's my 37s or my 35s.
I think it's your 37s.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rock rail. Yep, that's my 35s.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because I've changed rock rails since then. I've got some custom stuff put on, but that was my 35s going over.
That's right. You still cleared it pretty easy.
I still got over it. But no, the KCs, they're the Pro 6s. I've got Pro 6s across the roof. I've got 2 on the bumper, and I've got the Flex Era 4s up on the A pillar. And Eric's seen them in action. We've done some night rides together, and there's a whole lot of light on the front of that thing.
Yeah, you don't want to be in front of it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Eric got it. Well, we just rode Land Between the Lakes last week, and we night rode a little bit, and Eric got in front, and he's like, you can go on and lead now.
Yeah, you get up front.
Yeah, you go up front. It's like, I can't see.
That's awesome. Now, have you guys have winches too? I know you got a Warren. Is that right, John?
Yeah, I've got the Xeon 10S with the synthetic rope.
Okay. And then Eric, do you have one as well too?
Yeah, I've got a Smitty built. It's a 12,000 pound XTR, I think it is. I'm not 100% certain on that, but it's a synthetic rope on it too.
Is that a 12,000
Yeah.
pound, I think, isn't it? The Smitty built? Okay. Yeah. So that's kind of nice to have that little extra oomph behind it.
Yeah, it's helped me out a few times.
Yeah, I bet. So what's kind of been the temperature that you guys, for the most part in the Bronco community? I mean, have you really kind of find where people's really engaging the off-road? Or, I mean, you see some Broncos mall crawling it, but man, you're seeing an awful lot of them on trail. I mean, my goodness, like you said, your club has like over 500 members right now. So that's insane that's growing that fast. I mean, you've only been doing that for about a year. So, what's kind of been the temperature as far as some of the people that you have there, actively wanting to drive off road, or, what have you found amongst the general pop Bronco owners?
They want to do it, but then when you get them out there, they kind of get a little nervous.
What are the questions you get, John? Tell them the questions.
Yeah, Eric and I ran through a bunch of questions. It's like, will I get pinstripes? Will I get dirty?
Yes.
Is Starbucks out here? Is the mall on the way? I mean, it's just it's stuff, and you try and answer as positive as you can because you don't want to discourage anybody. I mean, that's the whole idea of this thing is to get everybody off road and enjoy the Broncos. And what you'd mentioned earlier, these things are amazingly capable in stock form. Eric and I and a couple of other guys, we've chose to go a little past stock form to make ours even more capable, but just in the capable out of the box from the dealer, these things are amazing what they can really do off road. And, you just have to experience it, because, like I said, we ride all around up in here. I got to experience Eric's neck of the woods this past weekend, and just it's amazing that the people that don't realize what's out there to get out and enjoy their Broncos, get out and see what's out there and just go do some trail riding.
Yeah. So you're talking Eric's neck of the woods. Where's that at, Eric? Is that LBL, right?
I live over in Western Kentucky, and there's really not a lot, but the land between the lakes, and we have Turkey Bay OHB Park. Basically, there's some not too far away if you get into Tennessee. Go down into Tennessee, of course, the one up in Evans, or not Evansville, but east of Evansville. The name has escaped me, but I've only been there once. But you have to travel pretty good ways to get from where I am to get on good trails. And Eastern Kentucky, I met up these guys, and I love it out there in the Red River Gorge area and Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway. And so usually if I'm going to off-road, pick a weekend off-road, I'll go out there. I'm trying to do a little more here because there's some people in this area that are wanting to get out and wheel, and maybe I can help them some, by taking them to LBL and Turkey Bay. Now, Turkey Bay is a very intense. Have you guys ever been to Turkey Bay?
No, I have not.
It's really
have you been to that, Brian?
too.
I know you.
No, I've been by it. I've never wheeled over there before. I grew up in LBL, like hunting and stuff, but
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I never wheeled over there.
It's an intense. You will get scratches place, and it's really difficult in places, and it's it's great for if you got the side by sides and things, but they do have some for the Jeeps and the Broncos and things, but it's really tough. And John experienced it last weekend. Is like you never know when you go around a corner, what's going to be there. So so I'm trying to do more there to introduce people, because I think that's the big thing with a lot of the Bronco owners is they've never off-roaded before, and they're just insecure about it. If we can just get them out there, and we're not limiting it. We have Jeeps and Tacomas and stuff go with us when we go wheeling over in the Red River Gorge. So we're not limiting it to Broncos, but I think that's the biggest hurdle for Bronco owners is getting their feet on the ground and learning the capabilities of these things. And unfortunately, you may get your vehicle a scratch on it. We try to run different trails and have some easy trails and medium and advanced, but you can't guarantee anybody that they're not going to get their vehicle scratched no matter what trail you go on in this area and over there as well, in the East Coast period.
Yeah.
Do you have any farm league trails?
Yeah, you're
Like
Say that again.
Farm league trails with like training wheels that you can use. Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
for people with forerunners that don't want to drive them off road.
Right.
We enjoy training people and stuff. I think that's the reason me and John got hooked up. That's one of our goals is to get people introduced, and I think we're going to have a ladies off-roading event this year. We've got the women interested in it now, So slowly but surely, and John's group is just going to keep growing. I mean, it's inevitable.
Yeah.
More people get Broncos and more people get excited about just chatting and hooking up with other people that have Broncos and learning off-roading, and it's fun. I enjoy it. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you get a lot of like-minded individuals, especially when you get into doing the things like the Red River Gorge on the byway or driving out west. I mean, sometimes you get a little bit of haters when you go to the parks. It seems like you get to the parks and then everybody it turns into a big competition, on brands. I have noticed that, but when I think, what was it, the first time I went out west, it was fairly early in the Bronco stages. There weren't a ton of them out there, and I kept hearing a lot of people. I've never seen one on trail. And they were just asking about it. Had Jeep people coming up wanting to look on the side of it, and it was a lot of fun. It actually was really funny because the Jeep guys thought it was cool, but then they especially thought it was cool when you're using trail turn assist on Black Bear Pass. Then they're like, okay, this is a whole other level.
Yeah, I saw your video when you went out there, and I thought, dang, I don't know, I'd be afraid to use that on that Black Bear Pass, but you did.
Yeah. And what's funny is, like, you're talking about the capability of the machines, and I've talked to Brian about this. It's like I'm extremely novice. I mean, I just started doing this. Now, I mean, I'm a country guy that's, grew up doing stuff on the farm and, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, and, at friends' house. But when it comes down to legit off-roading, I really didn't know anything about it. I mean, I just like, hey, let's go to the Daniel Boone Byway, and it has paper plates. Let's just drive it off road. So, I mean, when did you get started, Brian? You had Jeeps for a while, right?
Yeah, I started, I don't know, over 20 years ago. I had a few Jeeps and truck and four-wheelers, all that stuff. We used to go down to Kentucky, but it was in the Daniel Boone National Forest, but right off I-75 at exit 49. It's Livingston. And back then there was just like logging roads for miles and miles and miles. And you would just, ride and camp. It was great, but it was pretty unregulated. Things got out of hand and people were getting hurt down there. They ended up shutting it down. I think the first step was, it had to be street legal vehicle, and then it just kind of went down from there. So it really excites me to see the Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway and those guys that are volunteering and help keep that going as well. One guy I've known since I was a teenager, and he's still does it down there. Like, we used to go to Livingston. Now he's part of the helping the byway keep going. But yeah, I've been playing with that stuff since forever.
Is he the one that helped with that furnace loop?
Yeah, he's actually gone down. He's gone down with some groups, and they'll actually map some of that stuff out. So he'll go kind of exploring some of the trails and some of the old county roads that were still legal to drive on, right? But they're just, nobody's been on forever, so they'll help map them and stuff too. He's got a giant FJ, or not an FJ, but a Land Cruiser, big old white Land Cruiser on like 40s. You can't miss him if you've ever seen him down there. Yeah.
Was that on Cottywampel? Was he?
Yeah, he's rode with those guys a lot too. I mean, back in the day, he had like a real old Land Cruiser with a. He put like a engine he got out of a junkyard Corvette put in, and that's the kind of stuff we were doing back then. And now he's got this, huge Land Cruiser. But yeah, he's with Cottywampel on that, but he does a lot down there. He's really involved. So.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, this kind of brings us into the next topic. And Chris, there's a couple videos I want to kind of go over. John's Bronco Wave and Eric's Bronco Scary Wave. So if you happen to see those, you can start bringing those up. One of the things I always talk about is, as much some of the crazy stuff I've done out west, Kentucky about gets me every time. It's completely underestimated on how easy you can flip on your lid in Kentucky. And I don't know if you guys have witnessed any close encounters or have any stories of things that you might have seen. But have you noticed that as well? It just seems like you don't expect it because it's not a 600-foot drop. You may only be a 20 or 30, but it's enough to kind of give you a good jolt or a good scare. Have you guys kind of noticed that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Eric and I both, I've gotten used to the feel of it. You know, when it first lifted a couple of times, it's like, oh, this is kind of a little unnerving. But anymore, it's like you feel it and just kind of roll with it. You just watch what you're doing. It's a lot of it is a little bit of finesse, a little bit of tire placement, kind of paying attention to what you're doing. You know, if you're trying to do a V notch, you know, at least try and ride up, you know, straddle the V. You know, you try and let's see, yeah, that's coming down. That's coming down hard 11.
We play it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Playing. Oh dear
yeah,
Lord.
look at rear tire.
Oh, that's up there. I mean, it looks. That sounded tough.
It's the driver's side fender slid into the bank.
Yeah, it did. Listen.
Yeah, that was a fender flare.
I love it.
But that was when I was still running the Wild Track flares. I've since switched to the standard flares, so I've got my tire poke. My tires catch me now before I get into the body.
Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
So it's a little trial and error.
Yeah, if you want to bring up Eric. Yeah, no, I understand. I kind of did the same thing. Like when I was looking for rock sliders too. I actually wanted a little wider rock slider just for that reason. Because the side of the Bronco kind of bevels out. It's not flat like a Jeep. So I wanted to have something that had a little bit of poke on the sides as well for that same reason.
Hit this one. This the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I'm still waiting for it to come up.
Great music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just got copyright.
Yeah, this was a fun trail. I really enjoyed this.
What is that trail?
It's a Pickett State Park in Tennessee, actually, and it's a great place. I'd like to get back there. Whoa!
Whoa. That'll make you pucker.
Yeah, that was definitely a pucker moment right there.
So how'd the pups handle that? Because I noticed you drive a lot with dogs.
Yeah, the pups, they have fun, man. They bounce around in there. I don't know if they were in there then because I'd gotten out to look at it before I went down. They might have jumped out, but I think the big thing for me was getting used to the IFS, and I just kind of took it slow till I learned, I didn't get in too risky of a situation, and I'd always have a spotter there. Of course, in the beginning, I was a little concerned about my spotters because, most of them were used to spotting Jeeps and stuff, and it's a little bit different for us Broncos. But I got used to it, and I feel like I got a pretty good feel, of when this is going to happen, and I got confidence in the Bronco too. I mean, it's been just one great off-road vehicle. I mean, it'll do anything. You just got to watch those little spots like that. But it's been fun learning how to drive it, and I feel really comfortable now. So I try not to get too comfortable though, or I make a mistake. So, but.
I think a Forerunner.
Yeah, there's another video.
We'll never know.
Actually, Brian, your Tacoma could probably do that.
Yeah, sure, it can try anything.
Well, sure.
All you guys, though,
the departure angle is the one that
you do rock rails.
All you guys getting 37s though. I'm so outgunned. I'm still on 33s, like my little baby tires now.
That was
17s.
That was Eric's fault. I wheeled with Eric the first time.
Were you
when we're together, and it's like my wife gets out and she's like, "Are his tires bigger than yours?" It's like, yes.
Oh yeah. The
It's
wife
like,
called
okay.
Wife calls you out. You're getting bigger tires.
That's Eric's fault that I went to 37.
Did you say to your wife, "Hey, it's cold out"?
Yeah, shrinkage.
Oh, mate.
Oh, well, I guess I got to blame John for my 37s now. Then I guess because once he got them, I had to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
kept
see-
watching.
That's how it works.
Yeah, it's peer pressure.
I got
That's
mine.
exactly right.
I got mine because I'd
Go ahead,
wanted
John.
them, and I'd put the 35s on there. I got a just a standard Badlands and fixed it up. And I put 35s on there and that 2-inch puck lift and took it down to LBL. I hit one of them holes and sunk, and I had 6 inches of water in my Bronco before I could, probably more than that, before I got it out of the water. And I told my wife then, I said, well, I'm going to get 37s next week. I haven't had problem since then. So that's how I came about it. But
I actually remember that video. I think.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I've been going through them all day, and I hit that one and it just boom, 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 you know, when the exhaust gets under the water.
Yeah, I remember that. I actually think I remember that video too. I think you're the first one I seen on 37s. Actually, the first one to actually take it up on 37s. Yours was the first one I seen when you did that video. And I think it was a perch lift originally, like a 2-inch perch lift. I might have seen was the first lift I seen done. Yeah, and then I actually had the same problem. I should have had Chris get that video ready, but I'm trying to remember if it was Road 330 at LBL. And just, you go to LBL, it could be like a 6 foot to 10 foot pond or puddle that's all the way across, but it might be like 6 foot deep. That's the crazy thing about LBL. Yeah. Well, and honestly, Chris, when we did this,
pulled you out of that? What pulled you out of that?
Uh-oh.
It was a Toyota. Yeah.
It was,
on street tires, not even all terrains.
That's right. On slicks, by all accounts.
But that's the thing with LBL. I mean, it could be perfect, and then, like you said, you come up on a mud hole and you straight down.
It just drops.
So
yeah, absolutely. So I came across another video. I got to find out what this place was. There's a video. It's titled Car Hauler. I got to find out where this park is. I think, is that in Tennessee?
Yeah, that's the Pickett.
If you know what I'm talking about. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
gonna have Chris bring that up.
It looks like a car hauler.
So is that an off-road park, or like a state park, or what is that?
It's a state park, Pickett State Park, and I don't know how they got this car hauler in there. It's just an amazing thing. The hardest part of this was getting to it. I mean, everybody had to winch at one point to get to this, and I don't know how they got this car hauler in here, but I don't know if they helicoptered it in or what. But like I said, we had to winch just to get to it, and then, but you can, when we was headed back out, we went, we didn't have as rough of a time getting back the other way, but so it's crazy. You're off-roading and you pull up on this thing, it's like, what is this? But I'd seen videos, so I knew it was there. But that was a really fun ride down there, and I'd like to do it again someday. Maybe go down, spend a couple days. That's why I went with a group down there and spent a couple days going through the Pickett State Park, and it's fun.
Tony, 44-inch boggers would look good on a Bronco. That might be a little overkill. so better have a V8 in it.
Yeah, the turn nose.
Yeah, for real. So now you guys kind of take a different approach. One is a little more of overlanding style, or kind of getting into the overlanding style, and then the other one is kind of the Hilton, and then to go get dirty. So when it comes to your guys' style, like why do you do what you do? And do you, John, I mean, do you have an ever, I don't know, maybe a itch to go overlanding at some point?
As long as there's a Hilton close by, I'm good. No, I used to ride. I rode horses all the time and horse camped. So I had a trailer that I converted and had a living quarters up in it, and I've spent my time in a tent, and I have no interest of being in a tent. And just because you hear everything, you don't really rest. You're listening to people walking by and noisy parties and people cooking chili and stuff like that, and you just kind of wonder. And
aftermath of that chili.
Yeah, exactly. So Jeremy hadn't picked up on that one yet. But
no, I have the chili dogs.
Yes.
So,
but I never, with the Bronco, I've never had the desire, maybe someday, I don't know. But for now, Hilton, Hyatt, whatever, I think I stayed at Comfort Suites. I mean, it's still good. Good bed, warm breakfast, nice shower, get up, and then I'll go ride with Eric the next day.
Yeah. So you're doing a little different, right, Eric? You're kind of getting more into the overlanding. I see you're starting to look at different conversions.
Yeah, I was hardcore off-road, and wife and I bought a small camper, and we take it up to Red River Gorge and park, and then we stay there and ride for 2 or 3 days, and then coming back to the camper. But I've always kind of wanted, that was kind of my goal, to move into some overlanding. And so I'll be 62 this month, and my plan is whenever I do decide to retire from my job is to maybe do a little bit more overlanding, where I just take off, what overlanding's supposed to be, going and camping and then picking up and moving on, so I'm starting to get my rig set up more for that. And it's been fun doing that, making the changes. I'm spending too much money though, but I mean, it seems like everything has gone up even more since I started all this back in January 2022. I think everything's doubled in price. So, but anyway,
Yes,
it's fun. That's kind of what I want to move into. I'll still do off-roading and stuff, but I'm going to have where I'll probably get a rooftop tent and awning and everything. But I'm going to, I know they make those quick release latches for them, and I'm going to have those ready where I'll have a lift in my garage. So if I go up to, with Carson, go up there and wheel with him at the Red River Gorge, I can just take that off, because off-roading with those on, it's just so much weight on the top. It's just, I don't want to do that. So
it makes it top.
If I go on an off-roading trip, I'll be able to take it off and do the off-roading thing. But then I'll be able to put it on. And if I just want to go on an easy overlanding ride. So that's where I'm headed.
Yeah. Well, and you got I got two experienced truck campers beside me. It's like you were saying, Brian, especially, it's like, I know you go down to LBL and camp out with the missus, and you have a history of truck camping. Actually, I think you just went out not too long ago. How's your rig kind of evolving, with the Toyota? I see that you got different things that you're working with.
Yeah. I mean, I've had on that truck, I've only had it 3 years, and it's gone through some stages, if you will, whatever. I had the rooftop tent and everything, and those are nice, but like Eric was saying, it's nice to be able to take them off too. If I had a garage big enough to like have a lift in it, I think I may have thought about staying with the rooftop tent maybe, but it was like too, like you've got a wheel with that on there, or say you get the camp and you set up your tent and everything, and everybody says, hey, let's go for a night ride. Well, then you've got to like pack it all up. So then I sold all that. I got a Gazelle, so at least you can set up a base camp. And then I still have that. And then I was just offered a truck bed tent, So I just did a review on that last weekend. I went out with that, and that worked out pretty good. Still kind of the same thing. You've got to set it up. Once you're set up, you're either taking it down to go night wheeling or waiting or whatever. But it packs up in a small bag, and I don't have a big giant tent on my truck at all times. So, I mean, it's my truck's gone through a couple different stages, I guess.
Yeah. Still no lockers.
Well, and Chris, you've really changed a lot. You went from
lost hair.
You went from like a full size truck to like now an SUV pretty much. I mean, how are you changing things up a lot?
Well,
he's a soccer mom.
So I like going to places to camp. I don't necessarily like the anxiety that goes with going on a muddy trail like we did with the car. So mine is mainly to get to better campsites, And the only thing that I've modified on mine so far is a couple of ditch lights. That's it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
are you planning on sleeping that or?
You're breaking up.
What was that? I missed that. I'm sorry.
You're breaking up.
Sorry. Hey, did you... sorry about that. Amish internet. So, were you planning on sleeping into the in the 4Runner, or are you planning on using a tent like when you go to LBL?
I'm going to sleep in the 4Runner, and there's a company called BAM Beds that makes a leveling platform for my year. And I'm going to get that eventually, but it's like $400. But it levels it out so you can sleep in the back of it, and that's probably what I'll do at LBL.
Gotcha.
That's sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. And you have lockers. Got it.
But I'm kind of a wimp when it comes. I'd rather film others destroying their vehicles. That makes me happy inside.
The only problem about this Land Between the Lakes trip is you're not going to be riding passenger with me, because that was more fun than the trail itself. Every time we hit a bump or hit something, just like we didn't do anything hard on that trip, like Pumpkin Hollow and all that. That's nothing is on that is like what I would consider difficult at all. But for somebody who's never been really four-wheeling, Chris is, whoa, wow, whoa, the whole time, like had me laughing because he's just flipping out.
I really was, because that was probably my first trip like that. And so we're going over all kinds of things I don't think we're going to make. And I've done it before. And then John craps the bed in front of us. he bites it. So I'm like, what's going on? This is hysteria.
Hysteria.
Yeah, but
John took
a tumble. I lived to fight another day, though, Chris.
Yes, you did.
Yep.
Yes, you did, sir.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's what Bronco owners do.
my favorite.
Actually, the coolest part about that weekend. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say my favorite part. Like, I believe it might have been in your video too, Jeremy. I know it's in mine. Is when we're all coming down the waterfall there, squeezing through, and I've got my camera sitting off to the side. And John's kind of spotting everybody. And I get through, and he looks at me and says, "Just like another day at the mall." I laughed when I heard that, when I got that footage, because I had heard him too. I said, "Yeah,
that's funny.
That was good."
Yeah, that was a mall
my
trip.
favorite was actually when
Chris would appreciate them all.
Yeah.
My favorite was when John was like guiding Sparky down in his big old Raptor and that real mudslide, and everybody's kind of sliding into the little ruts. And as soon as Sparky did that big old monster truck, so John hollers out, "Big girl's got a mind of her own."
Yeah, those are definitely big trucks.
Yeah, that was probably one of the biggest.
He actually impressed me the most on that trip.
Yeah, he was game to do that. I was real surprised.
Yep.
I've known that guy for decades, and I'm not surprised. I mean, I think if he would have had to brush sides with Sposs Creek, he would have just hit the gas, knowing him.
Yeah, that was probably going down that waterfall was probably the the tightest I've seen a vehicle in there. I mean, he was even tighter than that. I mean, it was just crazy to get him down that waterfall without touching.
Yeah.
You could have put a thread between the wheel and that wall.
That was actually a good call.
Do most
That was
people
actually
go
a
in
good
the
call on your
opposite
part,
direction?
John, to go that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do most people go the opposite direction that we went? Because it seems like every time I see a video on that trail, everybody's going the opposite direction that we went.
The only reason I did that is because with as muddy and wet as it was, to try and get you guys up Pumpkin Hollow would have been a battle.
Yeah.
You know, we going down Pumpkin Hollow and then making the loop over to Spas was kind of the better way to do it because of the weather. And, you know, I didn't know you guys. I didn't know what kind of experience you had. You know, it could have been a day long full of winching you all the way up Pumpkin Hollow.
Right.
And, you know, it's like gravity will pull you down. So you're going to go down the hill one way or the other.
Right.
That's the reason I chose to go that route on that direction. But like last week, you know, I've been out with my wife trying to get her used to, because like Eric had mentioned, we are going to do a ladies run with the Bronco group, and you know, she's probably going to be the lead vehicle. So I'm trying to get her used to that, and we've been running it the other way going up.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, going up is the preferred way. Now that I know you've got experience, I'll run you up next time.
As long as you promise to winch me up.
Well, once you get Chris's lockers, you'll be okay.
Right.
You know, that's something I hear people say they're tired of Spas and Pumpkin, but I enjoy every time I get on those two trails. Seems like they change every time I'm on there. They're getting tougher. All those trails over in the DBB, I think, are getting tougher. I don't know if they're getting washed out or what, but I enjoy Pumpkin Hollow and Spas Creek. They're fun trails.
Yeah, I enjoyed them. That was the first time I'd ever been on them, and I thought they're really nice trails.
Yeah,
not too hard too.
I think
you know I mean?
Walker Creek.
Yeah, Walker Creek.
Yeah, Walker Creek was actually one of them that that kind of surprised me on the difficulty. Like I went and did that one, and it was after it rained. That was a whole other level of just these crazy flat shelves that you would think you could just pop up. And then once again, you get into that Kentucky clay, and it doesn't really care how much tread you have in your tires. If it's wet clay, you're just going to be sliding all over the place. It was like I was trying to drive up on ice. It was insane. So, but that one, that's one of them where I literally was not in a very good position in my Bronco trying to get up over a big old boulder. I probably shouldn't have been. So, but
yeah, you need to try cold iron. Eric and I have run cold iron.
What is that one?
It's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty tight and rough, and it's got one spot that if you come in from the I don't know what side. One side they call it a gatekeeper. It's just a huge boulder that you've got to go over, or if you're coming the other way, you got to go down. So you're definitely you're scraping on 37s. I'm scraping going up and down it. So I got a video out.
There's
that had the taco and a Jeep and a Bronco going down it. Mine was one of the Broncos. I think I got a video of John too going down that.
Yeah, you kindly sent that to my wife before I got
it. I got you in trouble.
That's too funny. I might have that one, Chris. That's a drop. It's either that one or the last one. No words. Those two videos. It's going to be one of those two because I think I know what you're talking about. I was actually going to ask you what that trail was. If he sees
cold iron something,
bring that up.
Cold iron fork.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue 78. Hey, good to see you, dude. Gentleman's from California. Actually got to do a trip with backpacking with Jason. He came out to Kentucky, so a really, really cool guy. So good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I think I seen that video because I seen the Tacoma, and I was actually worried just watching the video on his departure. I felt like he's going to rip off the back part of his truck.
Yeah. He's one of the brave ones for sure. He had he came up that hard 11. I mean, he was hammered down just. I thought he was going to break something for sure, but he made.
Crazy.
Speaking
Chris.
Chris is hunting. His mic's muted.
This is where we just stare at him and
Yeah,
let him
we're
feel
all
the pressure.
We're all looking at you. Feel the pressure.
Okay.
Every
You
episode.
gave me 50,000 things up. I'm working on it. That's what I said.
Look at
I'll talk about getting in trouble today. I'm because my Broncos so tall, I haven't been able to get it in the garage to be able to get in where it's warm to work on it. So, and now I'm going to be having a rooftop tent on it. Well, I decided today I took one of my garage doors out, demoed the top, got it up now where it's 10 foot high where I can get in there. And my wife came home. She's, what in the you doing? So I'm just going to make like barn doors or something where I can open it up and get into it, and close it, get some heat going.
That's a good idea.
That's
a really good idea.
This one's picket here.
Yeah, that's picket.
That was one of the picket rides there. That's not the one you were looking for.
Of course.
I think it's the other one.
Chris. Way to go, Chris.
So, yeah, that's great.
Files here, dude.
It's all right.
Is it called
one of my videos while you're at it?
We played them.
You got a music video or something?
It's the title of it's Jeep Taco Bronco off ledge, sound on, not much damage.
I'm pretty sure that's
10,000 views.
That's the one that I brought up.
Not much damage.
Not much.
Not much.
And the it's got a picture of the thumbnails, a taco on this back bumper coming off that ledge.
Terrible. I quit.
Way to go, Jeremy. You finally broke Chris. You broke him.
Is it this one?
Yeah, that's it.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Knew I'd get it.
Okay. Good job. Good job. He got it. Like, look at that. That is insane.
Wow. That's how you tear a bumper off of Tacoma.
Look at that.
Yeah, watch the Tacoma come over it.
I would not. That's how you rip steps off.
Nope. Now you just got to slide.
That's how you get rid of them pesky Predator steps. He's got a high clearance bumper. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it's a steel bumper. My stock bumper.
Sliders on the back too.
Yeah, it's the high clearance.
He hit on the back too. Yeah.
They're steel and they come around.
You're gonna hit on this rock, this boulder, no matter what you. Well, I guess if you got 40s, maybe you won't.
That had to make some noise coming down it.
Now I've gone up that too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You made it up.
I got the front tires going up. I got the fronts, but when I tried to do it with the 35s. So here's see if this comes to you, Jeremy. It may be too long.
Okay.
So that was me. That was me coming off.
There's a question from Tony.
I'll see if
I've been to Aspen Acres 25 years ago in a 4-wheeler, and it was horrible then. I haven't been since, but the trails are in really bad shape back then.
I don't even know where that is.
Never heard of it.
It's over here. It's like southeastern Indiana toward the Brookville area.
Where it is?
Aspen Acres. Is that an off-road park, I guess?
Yeah, they used to have, like I said, I've been there years. They used to have like 2 different motocross tracks and a lot of 4-wheelers, and a lot of partying went on. I don't know what it's like now. It may be way better, but they even had a dirt drag track.
Hey, Frozen Jeremy, what do you want to talk?
Well,
what do you want
I tell you what, guys.
about?
So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and do. I mean, we literally have been almost an hour already. So what I want to do is we got a little game we're going to play, and we did this with Mr. Ed Shin when we had him on, called Make It or Not. And we're going to have a series of about 5 videos we're going to bring up. And if you can get 3 out of the 5 right, then you're going to win a Polar Jammer. So I've got one each for you. So I would have Carlson in on this one, but I think he's already got a couple of them. So, but basically what we're going to do is Chris is going to fair enough. You made a donation to Love Like Jonathan. That's what you did, buddy.
Yes, I did. That's right.
But we're going to have you look at the thumbnail and you got to judge, does he make it or does he not, by looking at the video. And then after you give us your answer, then we're going to play the video. And if you're right, we'll keep score here. I'll write it down, and then we'll see if you win a Polar Jammer here. So on to the very first one. Take a look at it. See what you think. Does he make it? Does he not?
I'm going with
too,
yes.
Brian, if you want.
I'm going with a yes. How's about?
Okay.
I'll say no.
Is he pulling a trailer?
Okay.
It doesn't look
No.
like he's pulling a trailer now.
Okay. Probably not.
Okay.
All right.
Tell me when.
When roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah.
It's like a truck you'd find in South
That is
Africa.
a drop. I think it's Australia.
Australia.
Those guys are crazy out there.
Yeah.
Oh my
Jeez.
You're right, man. You're
God.
right.
And the nose have it.
Oh my gosh, man.
That would hurt your
You
feelings.
can't, you can't make
Oh my gosh.
He turned that rooftop tent into a ground tent, man.
That would be something I wouldn't do.
Oh, that's comment of the day. That is comment of the day. Oh, fantastic. If you want to bring up the second one, you guys are now got one. You only need two of the next 4. So that's crazy. I don't know what kind of rig that was, but I'm pretty sure that looked like an Australian style off-roading trip.
Yeah.
Like
So
a
how would you
Tacoma
recover
with
that?
a bed on it. The front end
Looked
looked like a Tacoma
Might have
clip.
been.
Yeah, like an old Tacoma.
Yeah, definitely old Tacoma.
I
That's
think
crazy. How would you pull that thing out of there? That'd be a mess.
Flip it back over.
Flip it back over. Yeah. I guess you don't have to worry about any worse damage.
look at this.
All right. Yeah, those are treetops to the left, mind you. That does
So
not
it's-
look good.
It's a Jeep. The question is, does he have cute little ducks on his dashboard or not? That's a deciding factor.
I'm going to say no. again.
Level up per duck.
Right.
No. Okay.
I think you make it.
Okay.
His
Okay.
his
One
ducks
no,
may
one
go
no.
out the window.
All right.
Brian, what do
Ready?
you got?
Sure. Yeah. It's a Jeep. He'll make it, right?
Okay. Let's do it.
Ready? 8. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
That's what it's
yeah.
like when you have Chris riding with you. Oh, Lord.
Oh,
Heard that for a whole weekend.
Oh,
yeah,
fantastic.
you did.
Fantastic. All right, just keep rolling on to the next one, Chris. That
Okay.
actually looked like it had severe consequences if he didn't make it either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd say he puckered when that rear end dropped.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. The rear end dropped and he lifted the front on a solid axle.
That's scary.
One thing.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, I kind of wonder also too. I mean, like as muddy and as slippery as that could be, that could have just sucked you right down in, and then it looked like you're dropping maybe 50 feet. So that's never a good day.
Here we go. Okay.
All right.
I say he makes it.
Nada.
Chris. Brian says no.
I have faith in that grocer.
Is that
I'm
one of
going
those
to say
goofy?
yes.
That's
Is
a
that one?
new Forerunner, I think.
Is that one of the goofy?
Oh, that's a Forerunner. Can I change my vote?
I don't know what that is. I'll go with.
I think it's a Forerunner.
Yeah, I think he goes up.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
And Brian says no. Gotcha. Roll it.
It's what we've always wanted. A one-story home, this neighborhood, and now that it's perfectly our style.
Do it.
You
You can do it. Oh, you get some shot.
He got stuck at the top.
Did he start over?
Oh.
Yeah, it started over.
Yeah, it just
No.
rolled. He didn't make it.
He didn't
stuck
make
at the
it.
very top.
He didn't make it.
I have no four-wheel drive
funny.
instincts at all.
Well, we got
No lockers.
Right?
It's all right. It's all right, Chris. My wife drives a Forerunner too.
Sorry, I have lockers, so I'm saying.
She's got a 2-inch lip to 33s.
I got 17s, bro.
My wife's Forerunner's bigger than yours.
Why you got hurt?
Just saying.
too funny.
Oh.
Too funny.
She's got 20s.
All right, rolling video number 4.
Okay. Here we go.
Does she have 20-inch rims?
Yeah, hers is limited.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They gonna make it?
What is it?
Going across water.
He's driving
Oh.
through a
I
6-foot
see.
deep water. Yeah.
No.
Does he make it?
Yes. I say yes.
Okay.
Skins across.
It does look like he's moving at fast pace, but
Yeah,
I'll go with no.
He's rolling pretty good.
I'm gonna go with maybe.
All right, roll it.
Yeah, let's go with maybe.
He's got lockers. What
Yeah.
is that?
Is that a
Like a
Can-Am or
glow.
something?
He made it.
Made it.
I don't even know what that was. Like, is that even a thing? Like,
Looked like a Can-Am or something like that, or a Razor.
Yeah, Can-Am. Yeah.
Stripped down Forerunner
With lockers.
with lockers. In
with
17.
lockers.
I'm a
Too
back.
funny. All right, we got one more. One more. So, and this is for all the marbles here. So we got one last video.
LBO can't come soon enough. I miss picking on Chris.
Yeah, he can't do it in our live streams. He has to come in here and do it on yours.
Yeah.
Sorry, one second. One second.
Too funny.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't think this is it. This might be it. Yeah, this is it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're
I
back to
say no.
Australia.
Wow.
Back to Australia.
I'm gonna go with yeah.
I'm gonna go with no.
That looks like a different rig.
It is. It's the same one, but after he rebuilt it.
It's 2 years later.
Yeah, 2 years later.
Come back from redemption, man.
Did he learn a lesson? That's the question.
He probably went back to put lockers in it.
I think this guy made it.
You think he's made it?
Yeah, he's got lockers now.
I'm going to go with no since everybody else went with yes.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Let's roll it.
Oh, this is just.
That is insane. I could not do it. I couldn't
No.
do that. That is one thing I would not do.
That's definitely
Not an
something.
$80,000 Bronco.
He's over too far to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, have you done this before?
I have not.
I'm just looking at his line there, man. It looks like he's too far to the right.
Yeah.
He's probably
he's
done
on
it
flip,
before.
Flip driver
Well,
side.
he's going to flip it.
All that stuff on top has got to come off. There's no way he's going to fall down
There
there
it
with that.
Oh,
You're
He
kidding.
made it.
what?
Wow.
Wow.
She didn't make it, but he made it.
Toyota.
Lockers. Lockers for
Toyota
the win.
lockers. There you go.
Toyota lockers, baby.
Awesome.
That's the key.
Well, I tell you what. Just for coming on, you guys both get Polar Jammers. So I'll be
All right.
actually, I tell you what, Eric, I'll be handing you these personally. So
All
that
right.
way, just next time you see John, you can just give it to him. How about that?
Okay.
That'll work.
That'll be fine.
So, man. Well, I tell you what, guys, apologize for the delay in the internet. So it's my internet. I don't know. My kids are probably playing Subway Surfer or something. I have no idea. But it was great having you guys on. It was absolutely great having you on. So it's good talking with you, Eric. Good to talk to you face to face. I look forward to wheeling with you here very soon. John, I'm looking forward to heading back and doing some more trails in the byway soon this year too, man. It's had a great time with you last time we did. I can't wait to do it again. Why don't you guys go ahead and let us know how to get a hold of you on all the social media handles that you have?
Okay.
Mine's all Trail Hunter USA on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. You can find me there.
And I've kind of switched and got away from my personal. Mine's all Central Kentucky Broncos on both Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well.
Awesome. We're looking forward to riding with you
Very
guys.
cool.
I was a little
It'll
more
be a good
excited
time. I
for
promise
us
you. And I'll try to
meeting.
keep. I'll try my best to keep Brian and Chris in line, but it is a full-time job. I'll just tell you that much.
For sure.
but
It'll never
but
work.
hey, Brian, thanks for coming on, dude. Yeah,
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
yeah. Thanks for coming on, Brian. It's good having you. Tell us what you got going on. I think, do you have a video release or something coming up on a review?
Yeah, I just released one. It actually just published at 8:00 a couple of minutes ago. It's last weekend I got out and I had to do the review of the truck bed 10 anyway. So I just went out to the Hoosier National Forest out here, did a little solo trip, and you don't have to listen to me talk at all. If you guys want to watch it, it was all ASMR. First time I've ever done one like that. So that was a little different shooting that, just trying to get all the shot angles and everything and try to tell a story with it. But cool. You don't have to listen to me talk. You can just watch somebody camp, and it's peaceful.
So awesome. I mean, you're not talking part.
Anytime I shut up, it's great.
Yeah.
Hey, quick question before we all get off here. What about your buddy with the toaster?
Our buddy.
Oh, Lance.
Yes. Lance.
Yes.
Last time I heard, he took all the plastic parts home
yeah.
and handed a bunch of clips to his kid and told him to put it back together. Yeah. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true. So we were trying to get him to come down to LBL, but I don't think he's going to make it. So
no, he's not.
I was really looking forward to seeing Sparky pull him out of the mud.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's some holes that Eric took me through there on LBL that would definitely get the toaster.
Toaster.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah. He would have drowned in the one that I got stuck in. So for sure. Yeah. Chris, what else do you got coming up?
Well, if we ever get to do campfires and cattles again, maybe we'll have some great people on our live stream. But I can't get Brian to do anything. So
we'll just hijack Jeremy's. Let him do all the research and everything. We'll just be here to blab.
I got really nothing until
better internet connection.
I got nothing until we go to LBL, really. I mean, I haven't got anything. In February, though, we are going to have a winter cold butt Antarctica. We're going to pick the coldest day in February. We are going to have a group camp, and it will be fun.
Oh, that does sound like fun.
No Hiltons.
No Hiltons.
I'm out. No Hiltons.
I'm out too.
Awesome.
I'm going on a cruise in February, so have fun.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. Well, guys, thanks for coming on. It's awesome talking to you. If you guys, I tell you what, we'll be looking forward to riding with you soon on the trail. And with that, till next time, outro music.
Later.